We are ready and we're taking notes. Y'all ready? All right.
Alright, well, my name's Megan. This is Scott. We own Ink Armory Tattoo in Longview over on the Loop by Cassoulet. So when you're 18, you can come get tattoos. But we've had the shop for this summer will be 8 years. But we've had our own place. I've been doing tattoos for about 10. And Scott runs the front desk and kind of manages daily operations. We got one other artist. We've had him for almost 2 years. He's doing real well. Actually, a little over 2 years now. He's been tattooing for almost 2 years. We've had probably about 6 apprentices that we've tried to train. None of them worked out for a variety of reasons. So if you plan on having your own business and you need more than just yourself to operate it, finding good employees can be very difficult. We know all about it, and we fired all of them for all different reasons. So I'm really good at firing people, and I don't feel bad anymore. I felt bad the first time or two, and now, I can do it pretty easy. Let's see, gotta work if you're gonna have a small business. It takes a lot of time. It takes more time than if you were to have just a standard go in and get paid kind of job. You gotta do stuff outside your normal hours. You gotta go buy supplies and clean and prepare things, and it takes a lot, but it's also worth it if you're willing to put the effort in. And so if you think you might wanna have your own business, think about what your strengths are, what you're good at. Think of something that might be of value to your community that's not already in place. Those are all good things to look at if you think you wanna start your own, some sort of business or income or service. Not everything is fit for everyone, but if you can find your own little niche, and it usually takes some sort of financial backing to get started, whether it be a loan from family, friends, the bank. You don't need a whole lot. We started with only what we had to have. So we started small and worked our way up, and we've got a pretty good sized shop now, and got a small crew, but it's a good crew. It's better than a big crew that you can't count on. So let's see, what else? Before the shop, we've done a variety of things. We were both in the Marine Corps for 4 years, so that was really good. We both went in right out of high school. I went in because I didn't know what else I wanted to do. And my stepdad gave me an ultimatum. He says, you're about to graduate. You need to do something. And so I was like, okay, kind of shrugged him off. And he says, no, I'm serious. What are your plans? And I said, I don't know. Had no idea what I wanted to go to school for, if I was going to go to school. Had no idea what I was good at. Didn't really honestly care about anything, really. Just being out of high school. And so he said, well, you got a couple options. He says, if you want to, I'll get your damn water. He told me, he said, if you want to go to school, the local community college, I'm from Maryland. He said, you could go to school. He said, I'll let you stay at home if you want to go to school. He says, but if you're going to go to school, you'll still have to have a job so you can pay for your own car insurance and gas and all that. He said, if you're going to school, I'll let you live here for free and eat my food for free. So I'm like, wow, that kind of sounds like a crappy deal. So that wasn't looking too good. Plus, I didn't know what I'd go to school for. And I didn't get a scholarship because he said you didn't work hard enough to apply yourself in high school, so you're going to have to pay for your schooling on your own too. So I'm like, wow, that kind of sounds like I'm gambling. So I don't really like that option. And he said, or, if you just want to go get a job somewhere, you can still live at home, but you're going to pay me rent and pay all your other bills. I'm like, wow, that sounds like being an adult. I don't really like that either. And he said the other option was to go in the military. So I looked into that, and I talked to a bunch of other recruiters and looked at my options, and that was the best one for me at the time. So I was an air traffic controller in the Marine Corps for 4 years. I was in Camp Pendleton most of the time in California, and it was an awesome time. It really was. We had a good time. We learned some cool stuff, met some awesome people, and kind of, I guess, set the foundation for how I am now, and that I'm able to be successful because I have the discipline that I got through the military to do the things that I want to do now. And so in between the military and tattooing, I've had like a variety of random jobs. Waitress, when we moved to Texas, I worked at AC Contractors and a couple other places, Eastman, but didn't really like any of them. So I'm pretty happy with what we're doing now. How about you? What'd you do between?
Well, I'm a electrician by trade, so I picked a trade field after the Marine Corps.
Still?
Not really, just right back there. And I wanted out of Longview, Texas. I graduated from Longview. I played for the Little Bucks. And I wanted out of here bad, and I didn't know how to get out of here safely without turning into the worst things in life. And the Marine Corps offered me that. I got out of here. I went to California. It was pretty awesome out there. It also gave me I'm gonna say it gave me the confidence that I've walked in and I've gotten every job I've ever applied for. I've taken leadership position in everywhere I've ever went to work after the Marine Corps. And I finally quit and went to work for my wife, and I've been a lot happier since. But other than that, yeah, the military, I'm gonna give the Marine Corps all the credit it gets. It got me up out of this town, I was able to see a lot of the world, and kind of appreciate what we have here for one thing, but another thing, it gives you a perspective. There's a lot more than Longview, Texas. The world's a lot bigger than Longview, Texas, and it's not that hard to go out and see it. And that's probably the best message I can pass along to y'all guys here is it's easier than you think to get up and go see the rest of the world. Sometimes you have to volunteer in the military, other times you just have to work hard, save your money, go on trips, come back home, save your money, go back on trips, and eventually you're gonna get to your destination. But other than that, trades are amazing. Being an electrician, the only problem is I was never home, but money was never a problem.
Where did you get your training through the military for
No,
that?
actually I was a machine gunner in the Marine Corps, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just an infantry grunt in the Marine Corps, well, above and beyond that, but anyway, that's a totally different field. I got out and I wanted a job, and I still was looking for excitement, so I picked a job hanging billboards in San Diego County, which if you want an outdoor job, San Diego County is the greatest place in the United States for an outdoor job, so that was pretty amazing. And then I decided to become an electrician, and I was an electrician out there. We moved to Maryland. I was an electrician in DC for 2 years.
Don't move to Maryland.
Don't move to Maryland.
Are you really?
So,
Where?
It's a good place.
where at?
What part?
Ellicott City.
Okay.
Where are you from?
I'm from Hagerstown.
I've been
So
there.
there's nothing in Hagerstown. Don't move to Hagerstown.
No. But yeah, being an electrician, basically, everywhere I've moved, I've had a job in 2 days of moving there. Just because it's a trade job, people do the work. It makes a living. You work a lot. You're away from home a lot. But other than that, like I said, it makes a living. It's a great trade. It's something that you don't need a college degree for. Math helps a lot, but other than that, it's pretty cool.
And so you learned mostly on the job training
no,
for that? Or?
I went to Associates and Builders and Contractors when I was out in California. My
Okay.
college. I did go to college for 2 years. Well, it was a community college. It was not community. It was a state college.
It was a community college.
It was community college as linked with the state. Yeah. So community college that had a trade program with it, so it was all college accredited. But who else offers something like that? We're looking on here.
Are there any electrician classes at Longview?
Not electrician.
No.
It's electronics.
Electronics, okay.
Yeah.
So probably TSTC or
TSTC is gonna
Kilgore
be your best
would
bet.
have a program for that.
But that field, the reason I didn't want to bring it up first, but the reason I want to bring up the electrician field is I try to tell my helpers when they work for me, if you would just learn how to bend conduit, which is electrical piping, if you could just bend conduit and run that all day long. I know gentlemen that had 20-year, 25-year careers in large major cities. They were electricians. All they did was run conduit all day long. Other guys make money just splicing a cable together. Their entire career is high voltage splicing. Don't go the route I did, and I wanted to know everything and how to do it all and be a master of it all, and it will drive you crazy. It's a huge
There's
field.
so much.
It is. It's electrician. Like I said, there's the electrician part. There's the electronics part. There's computer programming involved now. like I said, a lot of manual labor, a lot of math involved, but it's a huge field and you can really specialize in small parts of it and have a lot more peaceful life than I did.
And if it's something, if you like to work with your hands,
And
hands-on, not sitting all day.
The only other thing I have to caution everybody on, and this was the excitement part about it, leaving the Marine Corps, find something else exciting and slightly dangerous to do. Electricity is invisible and it will kill you. That is the first thing you're taught when you start messing with anything electrical is it's invisible. Anything shiny will most likely shock you and kill you. I've been shocked a whole bunch. I have nerve damage now because of it. I didn't discover that until I quit. Just as being cautious as possibly, but you start getting risk. You start taking more and more risks throughout your career as you get more comfortable with it, and then eventually you'll get zapped. You'll remember, and then the next year you've forgotten, and you get zapped again. So. What's that? Huh? My last year I was heading towards 150,000 before I quit and went to work for her. On average, about 80, anywhere between 60 to 80, $90,000 a year on a pretty smooth year.
He worked a lot of overtime.
So a good return
I was working
on maybe a shorter term training.
Mhm.
You know, not a 4-year degree. You can go to like a
but
2-year training program.
2 years at TSTC. Another example of the trades that'll help out is I had a helper that worked for me. While he was working for me, he was going for instrumentation, which goes hand in hand a little bit. He went to TST for instrumentation. As soon as he was done with school, he went offshore for about a year. He worked down in Port Arthur for about a year in a gas plant. Right now, he lives in Saudi Arabia and makes $350,000 a year teaching Saudis instrumentation. The only college I know he has is 2 years at TSTC.
Yes, they have that program at Kilgore now too, and I believe they're having, that is one of the ones they have here at the Longview Center. 2 boys from Harleton that graduated 2 years ago, went into that program. They've both already been offered jobs for May. When they graduate, they'll be moving to New Mexico. $15,000 signing bonus. So they're gonna buy themselves like campers so that they can have a place to stay out there. And I can't remember their starting salary, but I know it was over 50,000.
Oh yeah, easy.
And it was, you know, a 2-year program at Kilgore, instrumentation. So y'all don't know, that is my goal, is to see you kids somewhere someday and you be like, oh, Miss Angel, you know, I'm doing good. I have a job in this, you know. I don't want to go to the restroom at McDonald's and see you bend over cleaning a toilet. You all are better than that. Get some kind of training, be successful, and look me up and tell me about it. That's my goal.
I will tell you, I've met a lot of successful people in the trades throughout my career, working on various projects. I'm gonna tell y'all this story, since you're from Maryland, you'd understand it. I worked in DC every day when we lived in Maryland for 2 years. I drove into DC, worked in major buildings, Fannie Mae Foundations, General Dynamics, some really awesome places. The tradesmen I worked with, I'm gonna give you the best example. I knew a plumber that when he went to his homeowners association meeting, he was standing next to, his neighbors were doctors and lawyers. Like, this is a man that's a plumber, does a little bit of does commercial plumbing, some residential if he wants to. And he was talking to these people, and the judge that was there was talking about how admirable of a job it was, and this, that, and another. And the judge looked at him and says, I'm gonna have to get you out to the house pretty soon. He goes, I'll talk to you later. And he turned and walked away, and the plumber grinned to his wife, and he goes, no problem. $75 an hour for the left boot, and $75 an hour for the right boot. This guy can charge $150 an hour to his neighbors to go work on their place.
There's a plumbing program here, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know,
Yeah,
if you're not
I'm
sure what
just
you're gonna
saying.
do, take a class in that next year and see.
Yeah.
You know, even if you say, oh, that is not for me, you can mark that off, you know, but try it. Something that you won't have to go to school for 4 years, you can get trained and make a great living.
Yeah, but the guys I worked with up in Maryland, yeah, they were, I mean, the money that you can make in trades. I wish somebody came to me and said that plumbers could live next to doctors and lawyers, you know, next to judges. Nobody ever told me that at y'all's age. You know, I thought, plumber's another, you know, poor job, you live in a poor neighborhood. I didn't understand that electricity, plumbing, a lot of these trade jobs, some carpentry work. We know several people that own their own framing businesses. They went into carpentry. Well, by the age of 30, 35, they own their own business. They got their own truck. They're running their own people. So, you know, it's pretty amazing what people can pull off in the trades, but I'm gonna honestly say it's a lot better off if you find something you love doing and make a business out of it and own your own business.
Right.
Be a desk girl. huh?
Yep.